Hi, welcome, and today we're reviewing the Nike World Cup Superfly boot.
What the hell, Jake?
What?
We're going to review the new ones.
Oh yeah, sorry Chris.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome, and today we're reviewing the new World Cup Superfly boot. And yes, it is the Nike Mercurial Superfly 4, which is equipped with this Flyknit upper and the dynamic fit color. Nike is saying that football will never be the same, but is that completely true? Well, join us if you want to know.
Like, oh my God.
The Soleplate has a two-layer carbon fiber, simply to give more stability and flexibility. Well, if you look at the heel area, we see 4 studs again, which I personally love more than the only 2 studs we saw on the Vapor 9s. Well, also Nike had decided to go with 4 studs, simply to give more stability in the heel area. The 4th foot stud configuration is completely new and is there to give you better traction and more aggressive acceleration. The split toe area is there to give your big toe the biggest amount of energy to accelerate with. Well, honestly, I didn't feel any noticeable improvement.
The dynamic fit color is a sock-like thing that is there to increase lockdown effect and to get a more of a sock-like feeling when having it on. It is made by a thick layer of Flyknit and it is quite stretchy. It feels like the dynamic fit color is stitched into my leg that makes my feet not wiggle and jiggle when playing. The dynamic fit color is pretty hard to clean. The dirt doesn't come off easily and it smells really bad after sweating in it. Extremely bad, especially if you haven't cleaned it after playing with it. I had some problems because when breaking in these boots, it actually gave me and Christopher a blister on a heel. The Mercurial thing that is hiding the sewing is going inwards in the middle, and that's the problem. It is pressing against my heel and it hurts really badly when playing. Let's go to the Flyknit upper, which is, well yeah, a knitted material that is super thin and tightens really comfortably. Not comfortably like a bulky or padded feeling, but it does offer a special feeling and it works quite well.
Well, the Flyknit upper, we've actually seen it on quite some sneakers and running shoes, and it actually became a very big success, so Nike began to use it on basketball shoes, and now the Flyknit upper has come to the football world. And yeah, I kinda like the Flyknit upper in the football world.
I do too. Woo!
Let's take a look at the briar cables, which are simply there to give you the best lockdown effect you can ever get. The briar cables are knitted directly into the upper of the boot and are locked into the outsole. It is made for simply giving more of a lockdown effect, adding stability and holding your feet on place in the boot. The briar cables are tightens really much, but in a good way. But it tightens too much in my opinion, as I have really wide feet. But after I began to use it a bit more, the Flyknit upper also began to stretch a bit, and now it actually fits completely sick.
Talking about the touch, the Flyknit upper gives me a really close to the ball feel and a really precise touch because of its super thin upper. and I must admit that it feels really nice. And of course the Superfly is equipped with ACC, so no questions there. It works fine, and actually it works like a somehow 3D texture, adding just a tiny bit more grip when shooting, passing and dribbling. Also, the tongue is removed and in is the Flyknit upper again, this time as a soft and thick layer, being in as a one-piece boot. It tightens really good and it doesn't hurt when tightening the laces quite much. So, all in all, the touch in the Superfly 4 is actually really good, as you can feel all the small touches you're doing, and it feels really nice. So, how's the Superfly shooting with? Well, there's no striking elements or anything to help you curve the ball or giving you more power in your shots, but I feel like the Superfly is the thin material of the Flyknit makes you get a very clean strike, but what about you?
Yeah, I can also say the same. It gives a clean strike, and I actually feel like the Flyknit upper makes it pretty good to knuckle with, actually. Some kind of weird way. Curving also feels nice, and I have it in my mind the Brio cables actually make a little bit of curve effect, but that's just a thought of it. What do you think? Do you like knuckling in this shoe, or?
Well, yeah. Before I had Predator C2s, and you know the striking elements were good for me, but going into another shoe where the material is very thin is kind of weird, and you know it's nothing else I have ever tried. But I must say that it feels better to shoot in the Superfly than for an example, at Predator C2s, because I get a more cleaner striking area for me. Yeah.
It's kind of like you feel the ball more than you do on some other shoe with striking elements. But overall, I really like the way dynamic fit color also keep your foot locked to your shoe and not kind of like go in a weird way when you're shooting. And yeah, this is probably one of the best boots I've ever shoot with. Well, then let's take a look at the fit in the Superfly 4. The fit in the Superfly is quite good, as the Flyknit upper really adapts to your feet. The Superfly is known to have a rather stiff fit, but the Superfly 4 is quite soft, actually because of the Flyknit upper.
Passing in the Superfly 4 feels very good because of its thin Flyknit upper. It really... I mean, how? Wait with it. Throw it away. Good. Man. Thank you. Yeah, passing in the Superfly 4 feels very good because of its thin Flyknit upper. Long passing feels even better because of its low toe box area, giving you a good opportunity to dig under the ball. And the dynamic fit color just broke here. I don't know what happened, but
we just took some free kick, you know. And Jacob looked at his shoe. This was happened like this. Yeah.
So Chris, what do you think of this boot? You only used it a couple of times, but what's your thoughts?
My first thoughts was that we said very tight on my foot, and
yeah,
I was actually like worried about if it would be a problem later on, but I played some hours today and it's kind of like good now, you know.
Yeah.
The Flyknit have really stretched it, so my white feet is comfortable in this narrow football boot. What do you think about it?
Well, yeah, first time just using it, they were really stiff actually, but you know, I have also quite white feet, and you know, yes, the Flyknit upper is stretching quite well, and now they fit my feet perfectly.
as we talked about before, do you think that Nike have really made the step forward in football boots generation?
Well, a step forward, yes, but they're not at their final destination. Football haven't changed yet, like, but it's a step.
Yeah. So football's still the same, I think.
Kind of, but
yeah, I still think football is the same.
yeah,
New football boots, new fit, new control, not new control, but new comfort, new lockdown effect.
You know,
Yeah, you know
the drill. It's
a crazy boot, but football boots, in my opinion, they can be better. But I don't know how.
It's not a perfect boot because for sure every boot has some problems, and some bugs. But yeah, my dynamic fit collar broke a bit while shooting free kicks. We don't know how. Also blisters, but you know that's every boot when breaking in.
Yeah, and I was actually a bit worried about just Superfly, the Material will
Like break
Yeah.
or something like that, but it did. But I think that was an unusual thing. Just happened.
Well, I really like the boot for free kicks. I really like the boot overall.
Yeah.
Sick for juggling, playing, running. Well,
Exactly.
the boot is just amazing,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Awesome.
And it's probably the best boot I've ever used, actually.
Me too. Yeah, I've had two boots, but okay. Yes, it is a great boot, and I definitely think that if Nike are keeping doing this stuff and making new boots and stuff like this, they will somehow reach that football will never be the same.
I still think that we saw in the earlier Superfly models, in those stud configuration we saw the round stud. Yeah, there was I really like more like the design of it.
Yeah.
But that's just the design, and I can't wait to see new colorways of these shoes. I know that it will come in green pants and maybe a yellow, and a silver pack will come out too. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, can't wait. But I still think that no matter what, the World Cup color is always the best. In my opinion.
Yeah, also the 2010 magical boot we
It's
Somehow-
your love of it.
it's craziest boot ever made.
But yes,
Football is still the same, but Nike have really
take
a big step.
Yeah, a big step. A big step, actually. Yes, that's our conclusion.
Yes, we definitely love it.